Tēnā koutou katoa, talofa lava. Welcome everyone to this presentation on Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership. My name is Christoph Teschers. I'm the program coordinator for this program, and it's my pleasure to walk you through and make you familiar with what we're doing in the Youth and Community Leadership program here at UC. First of all, let me introduce you to our members of the team. Just briefly, this is me. I'm the program coordinator, as I said. Here we have Annelies Camp, who's our head of school and strongly involved in the development and teaching of the program. Billy Osteen, esteemed colleague and professor in community engagement. Ronnie O'Toole, focusing on youth and adolescent well-being. Sam Johnson, who has supported us as a founding father of the Student Volunteer Army in consultation and support of the program. Bernadette Farrell, who has also developed with me the program and is teaching in some of the courses. Fairly new lecturer, but also part of the development team. Similarly, Mahdis has joined our team as a lecturer this year and will teach in the 200 level papers. And Hilary is part of our degree lending research support and helping us evaluate the work that we are doing to make sure that this degree is as good as it can be. Okay, so what is the degree about? Youth and community leadership. So you all know that we are living in a changing world, right? We had environmental challenges, we have global warming, we have international supply lines, we have COVID-19, we have lockdown. Many of us have to sit at home and record this in the home office instead of, being out there with you face to face and all these kind of things. So we all know things are happening in the world and impacting all of us on a global scale. Now, we as the team of the Youth and Community Leadership lecturers, we are passionate about social justice, about sustainability, about a good and beautiful life for all people in this world. Our passion, our core kind of thing is about how to make the world a better place. Sounds lofty, but if we all chip away step by step, I think we can all achieve some of that. So, what are some of the challenges that you're passionate about? This is the question. What is your passion? What is your interest in this world for your local community? That can be your local environment, that can be your hapu, your whānau, that can be your Pacifica community, that can be your church environment or your local kind of city, your youth, colleagues. What is it that you're interested in this space? That can be on a national level. That can be for New Zealand, for Aotearoa. What is it that you're passionate about here? What do you think has to change? Where do you want to take leadership and move ahead, move our society ahead? Or what is it on a global scale that you're really, really passionate about? Is it sustainability? Is it some form of activism? Talking about, for example, human trafficking, talking about impacts of globalization, impacts of capitalism, exploitation of third world countries, helping developing countries, starvation in the world, whatever name, whatever you're interested in, whatever you're passionate about, where you think something has to change. And I would like to take part and take a step and help make this change. This is the passion that can drive you towards and help you in this program and where this program is designed for. We had designed this program for people to take leadership in the world in the social space, for humanitarianism, for social activism, for entrepreneurship, or for youth development. But there isn't only the changes in the world in terms of the global crisis and social injustices. There's also a change happening in the world of the workforce. Just think about, when you look at this quote, humanity will change more in the next 20 years than the previous 300. Just think about some of the changes of the last 20, 30 years, The internet didn't come around till 30 years ago. It was mid-90s that people could access it. Cell phones only came around, for the public people, general public, around 2000-ish. maybe 1998, something like that. But really, it's 20 years ago. Then smartphones only came out, iPhone, I don't know, 12 years ago, something like that. Sounds like a lifetime ago. And, we can't imagine life without our smartphone, our little device, and social media and Facebook. Facebook is only a couple of years old, really. So a lot has changed over the last 20 years. So think ahead what will change over the next 20 years. And this impacts on how we work. The future of work, the automation that will be there, and what is expected of you in your lifetime. So you have to be a flexible, agile kind of person, taking charge and leadership for yourself, for your own development, and being able to lead within your environments, in local teams, support others in your environment, work collaboratively. All of these kind of things is ahead of us. It's already here, but it will only get stronger. That's the only thing that we really know about the future of work, because it's really nearly impossible to predict what innovations will happen over the next 10, 15, 20 years. But this degree really is designed to set you up for being flexible, being able to take the lead and shape yourself and apply yourself in different settings and play into different roles depending on what's demanded of you, really, and where you see yourself fit. So that's what we are about. A little bit about the history and of how it came together, this degree of the Youth and Community Leadership. Basically, it started with the earthquakes in Christchurch in 2010, 2011, which really saw it was a big devastating event for the city. And out of this, Sam Johnson and others started the Student Volunteer Army, which is still the largest club at UC, with over 3,000 students every year being members of the club. And so they started out and helped the community selflessly, reaching out to people, reaching out to communities, doing what needs to be done. They also have been very active in the COVID crisis now. They organized food supplies and buying groceries for elderly people who were not able to get out and other things. So they're very active in crisis, but also in the everyday kind of life. They have over 52 events every year. Every weekend something is going on where they help out with the community. So that's still standing strong. And this is one of the blocks that helped the development of this degree. So from the earthquakes came the Student Volunteer Army. Billy Osteen started the course Christchurch 101, which is about service leadership and the learning that goes on, the development that you get, the learning that you take from helping out in the community, from service learning, really. UC changed the graduate profile, and I'll talk about it later a little bit, to foreground community engagement. And this degree of Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership is really the next step that brings all of this together in one degree. The Christchurch 101 course is a strong cornerstone of this degree. Student Volunteer Army we are working closely with, UN Youth we are working closely with, and community engagement is at everything that we are doing, really. And it's about leadership and community. So some of the issues we are facing today, and I talk to you about what we are passionate about, is the social justice, equity, innovation, making change, really, for a better world, and social and cultural sustainability. Some of the topics that you might be interested in, and that might steer you in taking this degree. So we want to equip you to be, as I said before, an agile, a flexible leader, developing yourself as a leader. So our 100 level course is about developing yourself, becoming a leader, and then leading with others is our 200 level, and then above. So becoming a leader within a community. So we are not so much about corporate leadership. We are about social and community leadership. And we think that appeals particularly for Maori and Pacifica youth, but also to everyone who's interested in social activism and social change, humanitarian and non-for-profit sector workers, and social entrepreneurs, for example. If you have an idea of starting your own business with a social entrepreneurial idea, social innovation, that could be something. And we see a lot of these businesses coming up in Christchurch, in New Zealand, and internationally, from young people who have great ideas and just need to have the skills to actually set something up. And this is what this degree will give you. We also have a pathway mapped out for anybody who wants to work with young people in the development. So that's the youth development pathway. And you can combine your degree, the focus of the degree is on leadership and community service and community engagement. And you can combine this with a minor in any of the Bachelor of Arts, Commerce, Science, or Sport coaching degrees to give you a foundation in an established area of professionalism that can support your leadership abilities into the area that you're interested in. But the degree is flexible and you have a lot of choice into which area you want to take your leadership in. Where do you want to become a leader of the future for our world? And this is what we want you to make and to become, really. Make an impact in a changing world. We all are faced with this choice of just tagging along, letting others make the decisions and others lead wherever things are going, or we can make the decision to ourselves be part of that. Ourselves step up and think about this is an area, small one, medium-sized, large area, where I want to make a change. And this degree will equip you to know what to do, how to approach this, what to think about, and hopefully also get you the connections with the people and organizations that you need. I mentioned before Student Volunteer Army. We are connected with also the UN Youth, who's concerned with global politics and how our world leaders systems work, how the UN works, how the NATO works, and other things. So you can connect with them and learn more about that. And Billy's course in Christchurch 101 reaches out to the local communities, and we are also working with youth work services and others for internship opportunities that you can take and projects that you can take in the local communities. Here in Christchurch, or if you're distance students, we can find you projects in your area or across New Zealand, whatever is on offer. So we are working with communities in this space, and you can make an impact while you're studying. It doesn't have to wait until you are done. You're making an impact while you're studying in this degree. A word about the graduate profile. I mentioned before, so the graduate profile is what we expect all students from UC to be able to or to have developed. But in this degree, we foreground these abilities. We foreground employability, innovation, enterprising. Enabling you and strengthening your bicultural competence and confidence, making you globally aware. Talked about the UN Youth, but we're looking into what's going on in the world, in New Zealand, and how does what happens elsewhere affect us, and what happens here affect others. And community engagement, as I said, is at the core of what this degree is about. So you will really be strong in these 4 aspects of the graduate profile, and supplement this with the knowledge that you need for the area that you're passionate about. Just some of the ideas that students brought to us or we think about is, there's obviously sustainability is a big one, but we also have human trafficking, slavery that's still going on in the world, social inequalities, hunger, starvation, wars that are going on, zones, people, refugee crisis that are happening in Europe at the moment, and Eastern Europe, and the Middle East, and a lot of things happening in this world that need your help. But we can also look closer to home. Ongoing inequalities for Indigenous people in New Zealand, challenges that Maori communities and Pacifica communities and partly Asian communities are living with in this country. Challenges of injustices, inequalities, poverty. We have one of the most divided countries in the world. I think we are top 3 from the richest and the poorest. Why is there such a big gap? Is this something that is equitable? Is this something that is just and fair, or do we need to address these things? These are all questions that you could ask yourself or can be passionate about. And this degree can help you take the steps into taking action and take leadership. So how does this look like when you study this degree? One Well, there are three aspects to it, and it goes over 3 years. So the bachelor is a 3-year degree. We have also a certificate, which you can study pretty much in 1 year. But I would strongly recommend the 3-year degree, or you can take it as a minor if you want to supplement another degree that you're taking. You can use the bachelor in a minor in some of the degrees that allow minors in the university. However, if you study the bachelor itself, we have a selection of core courses that really give you the foundation of youth and community leadership. Among this are some of the new courses that we developed particularly for this degree, which is Youth and Community Leadership 101, 201, 301, and 302. I mentioned before, 101 is about the self, developing yourself as a leader, who you are as a person. 201 is about leading with others, being part of the community. It's not about being the person at the front and everybody has to follow you. It's about working within a community with other people together to strengthen the community and together to move forward. And on the 300 level, we have the actual change projects. So 301, you will identify a project, something that you are passionate about, that you want to take action in, and develop this, and in 302 you will actually implement it. So you get feedback and scaffolding from your lecturers and from your tutors around this project that you want to plan and then implement it. This is where you basically, it's a masterpiece. It's a bachelor degree, but you know what I mean? It is the piece that where everything culminates from your degree, where your knowledge and your development as a leader comes together and you bring it and apply it into the project that you're passionate about. To help you on this path, Christchurch 101 I mentioned before, Strengthening Communities. This is the degree, the course where communities come to us to tell us what is it that they need. And you as a group of students are tasked to find a solution for that. That can be a small project, a larger project, depending on what comes from the communities. We also put in a couple of other courses that are particularly relevant for this degree that you can choose in the core. The second part of, you have to do the core courses, then you have to take a range of courses from a long list of selected courses, or you have to select some courses from this list that we have identified as speaking directly to the kaupapa. And this is where your flexibility comes in. Which direction? Are you more humanitarian? Are you more activist? Are you more, entrepreneurial, youth work? What is it that you're really focusing on? And depending on that, you can select the courses that really speak to that. And our study advisors will help you make the selections. We have mapped out pathways. I mentioned this before: activism, humanitarianism, social entrepreneurship, and youth development, that can help you, give you a structure of how the degree could look like. And it's up to you to add courses in that you find interesting, swap courses around, whatever, so that you can make this degree your degree, whatever it is that you need to focus on what you want to do. And that also leaves us with a third kind of thing. Every year you can choose 2 to 3 courses from the whole university catalog, basically to supplement this degree. There are some things around prerequisites. So in the later years, you might have to choose this carefully, what you do in year 1 and year 2, if you want to do a particular course in year 3. But there is a lot of flexibility in this degree, because we don't know where you want to lead into in the future. So this degree is designed to be flexible and agile from the outset, to help you go into the direction that you want to do. Okay. So what we want you to become, and what we work towards, is to make you prepared for the future and beyond. Prepare for a diverse workplace, flexibility and collaborative. Be agile, be responsive, and be responsible. Not just be responsible or flexible for a changing world, but a changing workforce as well. And lead yourself and lead with others. This is what our degree is about. So to wrap this up, I really hope that I see many of you in our degree in the coming years. And we're really passionate about, shaping the future. And we all have the choice to, as I said before, to take along or to take initiative ourselves. This degree is about taking initiatives, becoming a leader for us and for others. So I want to leave you with a thank you for listening to me. If you have any questions, please talk to our liaison people, reach out in any way, and I'll be happy to respond as well. If you get hold of me, or liaison can, they get in touch with me, and I can give you more information if you want to. So thank you for your interest, and I want to leave you with the saying that was given to us, Matatahi tu Haporiora. When young people are strong, the community thrives. We really believe in this, and with this we leave you. Have a nice day. Thanks for listening.